Hello everyone, it's Rachel from A Radical Soul Untangled. So recently got this new deck called Whispers of Lord Ganesha. I really like it, and I like Lord Ganesha. You can see I have a little figurine here, and I got him a while back. There you go. This one he's holding like the whip, and he's got like a fruit in his hand, and he's holding his other hand in blessing. And this one kind of emphasizes his ears. His ears seem particularly large, and I like that. It's like reminds you to listen more than to speak, because you can't really see his mouth. So I like, sometimes I need to be reminded of that, to listen more than speak. And anyway, there's something I was going through the book here. And in the introduction, a line just kind of really popped out to me. So it says, Ganesha is the remover of obstacles in one's path, the sponsor of success in all ventures. And that's pretty much why I got the figurine in the first place, and what drew me to this deck is how he's the remover of obstacles, and how I'm aware that I am often my own biggest obstacle. I put up the most obstacles in my own path, I realize. And it's like, well, I need help to deal with this, what I had been calling self-sabotaging behavior. But I had kind of insight about that recently as well. So I'll share that with you, because what really jumped out at me was this next line. It says, it is believed that those who worship him ought to never fear failure. And it's funny though, because that idea of worship, I used to be an atheist, and the idea of worship I find, or the word worship I find uncomfortable, that kind of implies this, this hierarchical kind of, this, I am the person who worships is saying, I am lowly and you are greater than me, and that kind of thinking has never really appealed to me, just part of why I became an atheist. But it hit me that, maybe that was the old style of what worship meant. But I feel like now what worship really means is that we create, these stories, we create these deities that are facets of like human experience, human thinking. And when we do that, we can reflect on, are those aspects we like and want to foster in ourselves and feed in ourselves? Like, this ability to persevere and enjoy life, but to be a powerful force to be reckoned with if obstacles or evils are in the way. Or, or like Athena, a goddess of wisdom and rationality, or a trickster god, all sorts, every deity is a facet of human experience, of human nature. And the deities are not to be worshipped. We are to choose if we want to foster that aspect in ourselves, how we want to strengthen that aspect in ourselves if it's something we admire, or diminish it if it's, a trait that is undesirable. Does that make sense? So to me, that's really what worship is. It's an actual internal reflection of, am I going to feed that part of me? Am I going to feed the generous parts of me? Am I going to feed the rational parts of me? Am I going to feed the love, or am I going to feed the egotistical parts? Am I going to feed the parts that want power and control? So yeah, that just kind of hit me reading that line. It's like, oh, maybe that was the old style of worship, thinking that there is this external deity or force that is imposing upon you. Just like when you're a child looking up to your parents for guidance and how to behave and everything. And if your parents aren't in a good sense of alignment, then it's going to be difficult for you. It's going to be a little longer for you to get into your alignment. And what I mean by that is, your true nature, So anyways, just something to think about, huh? Yeah, so it's like more like worshiping those aspects of you, you know. You want to worship, you know, foster, support, nurture, you know, those aspects that God embodies in you. You know, how do you see that in yourself? How do you embody that? And these are big cards, so I'm just going to do a quick 3-card draw. So, you know, what do you think, Lord Ganesha, about what I said? Let's see. That's going to come out. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle these just a little bit more, and then I think I'm just going to do like a 3-card cut. Yeah, 3-ball cut. Because when the cards are this big, it's a little unwieldy for my tiny hands. I mean, okay. Yeah, that's almost my entire hand, that deck. So I think I'll just do a little more shuffling, and then I'll just cut these. And I've been shuffling them a little bit before this. So the 1, 2, and 3. We'll draw one from each pile. How about that? Got prosperity, capacity to love, and acceptance. All right. So, card number 45. These are very, very glossy, but they're not too thick. I really do like the cardstock. So we have prosperity, and what hits me right off the bat is just all the redness in this card, and all the fruit. So I like how in this deck, prosperity is kind of symbolized not so much by material wealth. I mean, sure, there's a good amount of gold, and he's sitting on a throne. But the prosperity is really reflected in the fruits around him. And the red energy representing the, you know, the base chakra. And so your sense of security, your sense of safety, your sense of being grounded to the earth and in your body. You know, that's where your prosperity comes from, you know, being in good health. When you feel grounded in your body, when you feel like your body is a safe place to be in, and your body will support you, and your body is your vehicle on this earth, you know, you are that much closer to prosperity, because then your body will help you seek out, you know, the resources that you need to survive and to thrive in this life. And we have capacity to love. That's interesting. So that's his capped tusk. That's the tusk that he you know, sacrificed to create the moon, or the crescent moon at least. And in this card, again, we see a lot of green energy. So this is very much a heart chakra kind of card. Even though it's focused on his trunk and his tusk, you know, kind of like the visual focal points here. But, you know, your heart is, you know, his tusk is swirled right over where his heart is. And yeah, so the green represents a lot of heart chakra energy, and the heart chakra, I see it as, it's like the linchpin, the energetic linchpin in your body, because the 3 lower chakras tend to be considered like the feminine energy, which doesn't necessarily mean, you know, woman. It just means the energies of being in your body and being connected to your body and knowing your body and, you know, your identity in your body. And then we have the 3 higher chakras, the throat, third eye, and crown chakras, and those kind of represent the masculine energies, which is kind of more the thought, you know, the more cerebral, you know, energy. So, you know, philosophical, you know, truth, insight, connection to the divine. And again, those are considered, but not masculine as in, oh, this is what men are and this is what women are. It's just a way to represent the duality. But the heart is the seventh chakra, or is the fourth chakra in their 7 chakras, in the basic system at least, and that is at the very center. So it is, it's yellow and blue combined. And it, it's, if your heart is blocked, the more you close off your heart, the more you kind of choke off everything else, you can't, expand and energize these chakras if your heart is out of alignment. And while that's true with all of them, if one is weak, the system's going to be a little wonky. But I feel like the heart, when the heart is the one that is really blocked, that is going to cause you the most trouble. That is what makes you feel disconnected from the world. That's what makes you feel like a living ghost. Because that's how I felt for a very long time. Just this living ghost walking through the world, walking through life, but not really connected, not really interacting. It wasn't until I did work on myself to really activate and open up that heart chakra that I started to really better connect with those around me more consistently, and connect, most importantly, to myself and love myself. That was the key to self-love, not just telling myself platitudes and telling myself I'm beautiful and I'm great. But this opening up my heart chakra and strengthening it, and self-forgiveness, self-compassion, all that stuff really is just helping things flow in my life, and everything is just, I'm happier. And I'm happier more consistently, because that love now is unconditional. Or at least it's constantly striving to be more and more unconditional. We do live in a conditional world, so it's a balance. Anyway, but yeah, he's got his trunk kind of wrapped over his heart. Elephants use their trunks as their hand, and sometimes when we feel, you probably just heard me put my hand on my chest. Whenever we feel like we're sharing something from our heart, we put our hand over our heart. So I feel like that's kind of what he's doing there. And see, he's got some little fruits, or maybe those are little dessert balls. It's a little hard to tell, but he has his hand open, like he's willing and ready to share those if necessary. And he's got, a little bit of his robe that you can see is green, so definitely that heart chakra energy. And he sacrificed his tusk, and that's also often considered an act of love in doing that. So, and the third one we have is acceptance. And again, this is an interesting one that's like an extreme close-up, but I feel like here the focal point is his belly. So to me, this kind of, this really speaks to like body positivity, embracing your body. If you feel like you're overweight, instead of judging yourself, just accept it. Just love your body, And again, he's has fruits around him. In the book, they said something about the banana representing like humility. I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but I guess the yellow, the fruits that he's holding are yellow and orange. So, boy, I love chakras. So representing the sacral chakra, creative energy, and yellow, the solar plexus. But again, we have a lot of red energy. So really being grounded in your root chakra, grounded in your body, again, here, and how that leads to prosperity, because acceptance, acceptance here, see, it's 39, comes before 45. And the acceptance is the key to prosperity. If you're constantly hating on yourself, hating on your body, hating on your life circumstances, if you're not accepting yourself where you are now and loving yourself unconditionally, it's going to be a lot harder for you to reach this prosperity, because you are putting up so many of your own obstacles. So that's where we come in with, that's where Ganesha comes in, to break down the obstacles, not for you to necessarily pray to him and he will come in and cause, you know, all these things, you know, to melt away. You have to do the work. You have to reflect on these aspects of Lord Ganesha and put in the work and use him as a template to work towards, a good role model. Use him as also like a support, you know, saying like, oh, I can't do this. But you know, because sometimes even if it's pretend, you know, even if it's not literal, you know, help, it's good to just feel like you have somebody that'll support you. Feel like you have some sort of support. You know, how many times have you like struggled in life and you remember something a loved one said or a close friend said to you? They might not be there holding your hand in that very moment, helping you through that struggle, but you can tap into that energy that they have given you in the past and the good feelings that that evoked in you back then, and bring that into your present. You know, so in a way that person can be supporting. That's how people can support you without even directly interacting with you. You might have to just look outside yourself as a mirror to then see those qualities and reflect them back towards yourself so that you can foster it. See those qualities in somebody else, realize that you have those qualities yourself, and then work on that yourself. I hope I said that in a clear way. So yeah, so that is the Whispers of Ganesha, and this is how, again, how I'm seeing worship now is not so much about evoking, you know, external characters to help you, but to realize that there are aspects of human nature that you want to, that you have within you. You just need to foster them with acceptance, with increasing your capacity to love by clearing your heart chakra, by accepting yourself as you are in this moment. And then that will lead you to prosperity. So anyway, that's a 3-card Oracle Tarot read using the Whispers of Ganesha. I'm liking this deck. I think art is really beautiful. Show you just a few more cards. Reflection and perseverance. I like this one a lot. I'll go into that if that comes up in a draw sometime. And I got spiritual practice. So again, I love the color coding because you can tell the artist really, you know, tapped into the chakra energies here with a lot of the artwork. And of course, then there are a series of chakra cards. So there we have wholeness, and that's the heart chakra. So there's a whole series of like 21 through 27 of him in this pose, but the different colors and his hands over each chakra. So emphasizing like, you know, the importance of each one. But yeah, these are great cards. The art is just lovely. See, there's the throat chakra. Yeah, clear your energy. Yeah. So yeah, this is a really beautiful, beautiful deck. I also like to sometimes have oracle decks and they just have like the one word and then the image, and you know, and it's just a very simple word, you know, just like guidance, like openness. I like that open-ended interpretation. As we say, with divine support. But yeah, there's the crown chakra. So yeah, I'll be maybe making more videos with this. And if you want a reading using this, we could do the oracle deck. We could do the oracle, combine it with tarot. We can do a tarot spread, a standard like tarot spread, and then use an oracle card at the end or at the beginning, you know, to get an overlying energetic feel for the reading, kind of bring it all together. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.